The OBR clarifying yesterday that Rachel Reeves did not, in fact, mislead the public over the state of the UK's finances. So whilst last week's budget may well not have technically been a breach of the manifesto, and she may not have misled the public to any significant degree, to many, it certainly feels like she did. She didn't raise income tax, though. She didn't! Fuck me! It's not like she dropped a quartine-sized bollock. She didn't raise income tax. She didn't! She extended the freeze on tax thresholds that the Tories brought in, which means if you get a pay rise, you might end up paying a bit more tax on that pay rise, which is a pain in the arse, but it's not a tax rise. Minimum wage is up. They've done a kind of vanilla wealth tax on people fortunate enough to own property that's worth over £2 million, which I have no problem with because I don't own a property worth anywhere near £2 million, so I'm fine. And if I did, I think a couple extra grand a year wouldn't exactly make me have to start doing my weekly shop at a food bank. It was not a radical budget. It was just a tiny bit left-wing. Tax and spend. I'm a loony lefty. I'm up for tax and spend. An end to austerity. I'm okay with it. Ignorant prick that I am. And yet all I see in the right-wing press there is open disdain for those struggling financially. Benefits Britain. Benefits Street. Reducing child poverty is anti-business. Free school meals. Feed your own kids or don't have them, you lazy bastards. And then on the next page, I mean, you think people on universal credit are struggling? What about these families who will struggle to pay this new mansion tax? These people may be forced to cancel their HelloFresh subscription. They may be forced to put the annex up on Airbnb, all to pay for benefit scroungers. 40% of benefit recipients are in work. 3/4 of children in poverty are in working families. 15% of the UK are on some sort of benefits, while 16% of the UK claim the state pension. I'm just saying, lifting 300,000 to 500,000 children out of poverty. I'm fine with a bit of tax and spend. However, that doesn't hide the fact that... Can we just stop for a second and just try to understand why this government is so ball-crunchingly awful at everything they do? We don't really hate your budget. We just hate you. I know 14 years of Tory chaos. Yes, they inherited a post-Brexit, post-COVID, post-trust, post-whatever. That doesn't make this Labour government any less awful. I voted for a bit of tax and spend. What else were they going to do? But I didn't vote for the end of trial by jury. I didn't vote for slashing foreign aid or doing next to nothing regarding social care reform or Morgan McSweeney buying the Prime Minister's suits or a housing minister underpaying tax on her house, a homelessness minister making her tenants homeless, an anti-corruption minister given prison time for, you guessed it, corruption, or thinking man's Nosferatu Peter Mandelson becoming ambassador to the United States. What were you thinking? Well, only another 3 or 4 years of this shit, and they'll be out and we'll have Nigel Farage along with his pals, Elon Musk and the Kremlin dictating policy with Tommy Robinson as Home Secretary and Andrew Tate, the new US ambassador. And that might sound absurd, but at the rate this Labour government are going, it feels all but inevitable. Sir Keir Starmer there, facing his first Prime Minister's questions since last week's budget.